Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. Today is Tuesday, June the 28th, 2022. And let's just get right into it. This was the Young and the Restless edition. Y'all, it wasn't that much to this soap. I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm sorry, it wasn't that much to it to get excited about. Let's just get right into it. We see Lauren and Michael, and he's into this business with Victor. Everything he's doing is illegal, so he's not doing anything illegal. But Lauren's just like, I hear the way you're talking, so I already know it's something you're doing for Victor or whatever. But anyways, he tells her, let's take a trip. She says she can't right now with Marchetti and her company and everything, all this going on. She can't right now, but they decided to take a trip upstairs to the Grand Phoenix and get a room and spend some quality time with each other. And that's what they did. I'm not going to hold you long on this soap because it wasn't that much today to actually speak about, but that's what they end up doing. So then she leaves him, they just spent some quality time together. So then she leaves him and everything. So then we see Chelsea and Billy. And Chelsea pretty much begged Billy to ask her how she felt about his podcast. And she was more than happy to oblige and let him know that she didn't like it. She thought it was really dark and she thinks he's the funniest person she knows and she wants him to have lighter content. And so they sit down. I'm not gonna hold you long on this. And so they sit down and everything, and she's talking to him. And then Lily shows up, and Lily agrees with Chelsea. And then Lauren shows up because she and Chelsea have a meeting. So the two of them, get up and leave. And Billy tells Lily, "I thought you were cool with the podcast. I didn't know you thought it was um, dark and dreary and what do you say, dowry? But anyways." Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. She tells him, I do like your podcast, but I think you could lighten it up a little bit. And he was like, okay, I'm hearing the feedback of you two. You two are intelligent women. I'm hearing that feedback. And that was it with them, child. So then we see Lauren and Chelsea talk. I'm gonna make it to 8 minutes. I always try to make the videos to 8 minutes. I don't know. And so then we see Lauren and Chelsea talk, and she tells her that she spoke to Gloria. Lauren tells Chelsea, I spoke to Gloria, and she said, there's an issue between you and Chloe. And Chelsea said, it's nothing you need to worry about. Chelsea and Chloe and I are really good friends. And sometimes we have disagreements, but at the end of the day, we're always going to work it out. And she said, okay. And she said, you're going to have to talk to Summer about, something that's going on. And she said, oh, this sound, is it, give me a hint or whatever? She said, no, you just gonna have to talk to Summer, but it sounds promising for Chelsea. And we all know that they're going to offer her that position at Marchetti to design for both companies. All right, so that was it with them, y'all. Oh, did y'all see how Chelsea was looking at Billy? I said, girl, I know you're not going after this married man. Because I thought it was going to be Kyle. I don't know who she finna go after. A lot of the spoilers were saying Chance. But then she kind of been doing this little thing with Kyle. But the way she was looking at Billy, I said, girl, you was just wanting Ray and he was married. Find Chelsea a man that's not attached. Let's move on. Let me see who else was on this soap today. So then we see Victoria and Ashlyn, child. So apparently Victoria, she don't really want to be with Ashlyn like that. What she wants to do is get that 250 million. That's what the spoiler's saying, back from him, and everything, to prove to her father that she's capable of handling business too. So it's no mistake that she sent Nick that information about her and Ashlyn starting their own business. But Victor, like, that wasn't really information to know. Victor already knew they were trying to do that. Nick just confirmed it and everything. But they already knew they were trying to do that. And he already knew she was in New York. Victor had already sent people to look for her. So Nick is feeling guilty. Oh, Lord, I went over to Nick. I'm still talking about Ashlyn and Victoria. But anyways, Ashley and Victoria are just like, they don't have any investors. All the investors backed out because, Victor told them no. He told them, who Ashley was as far as being sick and all that. So all of them backed out and they're not going to invest. So she convinces Ashley, let's put up our own money. And he says, yeah, you're right. She said, he was like, because it's not good for business for word on the street to hear that everybody's telling us no or whatever. And he said, plus we can get 100% of the profit. And she's like, yes. And so he agrees to all this. And she says, let's buy a building. He said, you don't want to lease? And she said, no, we know we're going to be successful. Let's go ahead and buy the building. So they go ahead and he gets the real estate agent on the line and said, let's go ahead and buy this building. I think what Victoria going to do is have it because okay. So let me put this all together. What I think. So I think Victoria is gonna have it where Ashley is using his money and everything, but because Victor has told them, well, it doesn't matter. Never mind. Anyways, so Victoria is just like, you buy the building and all that. So he's making phone calls to do it, and then she texts somebody. I don't know who she texted. It says everything is going as planned, and I said, girl. So then we see that, and that's it with them, y'all. So then we see that Nick talks to Victor, and he's feeling guilty about telling Victoria. Because at first I was going to say, well, Victor has told the investors that Ashlyn's sick. So as long as Ashlyn Locke's name is attached, nobody wants to touch it. So I was thinking that maybe Victoria would use just her name. And then that's how she would be like, well, I expanded Newman Media because it's under my name and I'm not having anything. Like she could ice Ashlyn out. You know what I mean? I don't know, child. We're gonna see how this goes. But anyways, as Nick is feeling very guilty about having told Victor about Victoria's plans because he said, what if she knew I was going to tell you and she just sees it as a way of she was just testing us all or whatever. But y'all played right into her hands. Yes, she knew you were going to tell, but she wanted you to tell and everything. So you're all good, Nick. But Victor says he's convinced that this is going to bring Victoria back, naming not having the business go as planned, naming Adam as CEO of the company and everything. He's convinced everything is going to work out. And that's pretty much all it was for there. And then we see then we see Sally and Adam is just like, he's telling Sally, because she was like, what should I call you and everything. And Adam is like, my dad didn't really want to give me this position. He just did it out of default. And he said, and I know Victoria could come running back at any time and she could want this position and he'll give it to her. And he was just like, I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop because he said, it doesn't feel right. It feels good that he has the position and he knows he could do great things in it, but it doesn't feel right because he just, how sometimes you just like, something's going to go wrong. I don't know what it is. And it's not that you're wanting it to go wrong, but you just know, like, it can't be this easy. And he's right. So then we see that he and Sally go to dinner and they see Nick and Victor. So they come over and speak to them. And, they're saying, Nick is just like, congratulating Adam on his and Sally on their promotions, and Adam says, yeah, oh well, thank you for that. Who knew Victoria would leave the company and everything. And Sally said, but I guess she was in love and she just did what she had to do because of love. And Nick Adam said something to the point about Newman and leading it, and that he knows that Nick doesn't want to be involved in the, day to day, and he doesn't care about Newman like that or whatever. And he said, well, that might be changing soon or something along those lines. And so then Adam just is like, all right, well, tell me more when you get more details or whatever. And he leaves or whatever. And then Victor tells Nick, well, what did you mean by that? And Nick said, oh no, it was nothing. I was just getting under Adam's skin. And Victor said, no, I think it was more than that. I'm like, Nick, why did you have to get under Adam's skin? Like, you starting to work my nerves. Like, why did you have to get under Adam's skin? Why can't y'all, like, it's not his fault that Victoria left. He said he doesn't care about Victoria and what's happening. Victoria didn't care. Why should he care that Victoria left the company and he got the position when she didn't care about holding on to the position herself? She went, from what they know, she went after Ashlyn and whatever. But Victor is just like, I know this is just not the end of you. There's more to it about you wanting to have more control over who's the leader in Newman and everything. And Nick is just like, no, but we all know he's been thinking about it and guessing on it and everything. But y'all, let me just double check before I end this all, wrap this all up. But yeah, that was yep, that was the Bold and the Beautiful. Child, I'm sorry. That was the Young and the Restless today, guys. And I will see you tomorrow with another episode.